Good day, everyone. I'm the CEO of Millinery, and today is the 12th day of the 30 Days Millinery Challenge by CMA, that's the Creative Milliners Association. Today, we're going to be talking about a molding fabric popularly known as paper mats. In this part of the world, Nigeria, and mostly in the western region of Africa, like Ghana, we call it paper mats. It's a paper woven, you can see it clearly, it's a paper woven fabric. It's a substitute for CMA, as it's way cheaper than the CMA fabric, and it's very good for molding. And I think preferably even in Nigerians, like when you mold, when they get their hat and then it's a little firm, you know, most times when you see the hats being made by the whites, it's usually very soft because the CMA fabric, it's a very soft and flexible fabric. But when you make hats for people in Nigeria and it's soft, you know, they have that belief that it's not so hard, that it's not so good. But you know, when you mold it of paper mat fabric, it comes out very rigid and strong. So I think it's a very good fabric for us here, and it can be molded with even the CMA fabric. You can mold with it alone, and you can even combine it with the CMA fabric. It comes in different colors and it can be dyed to whatever color you want. This is the white, you can see it. It comes in, you can buy it in yard, but its yard is a little different from the CMA fabric. You know, the CMA fabric is 36 inches by 36 inches, but the paper mat is way bigger. It's 36 inches by 60 inches. It's longer, just like your cloth fabric. So it's cheaper and it's bigger, so you can always go for it. So this is baby pink, this is the gold, you can see this gold. We have champagne gold, you can see this like a yellow gold, and this is another gold. This is a champagne gold. You can see, I don't know if the camera is doing justice to this. So it's sold in yards, This is the fuchsia pink. You know, the story about this fuchsia pink is I actually needed it, and I got it in white and I dyed it to fuchsia pink. So you can always dye it to whatever fabric, whatever color you want, but just that it absorbs so much dye, so it requires more dye than the CMA fabric. When you're dyeing your paper mat fabric, you need more dye. The quantity of dye that you're going to use to dye a yard of paper mat will be more than the quantity of dye you're going to use to dye your CMA fabric. This is also red color, comes in different colors. And you know, this is a patterned, we have the plain, these are called plain paper mats. This is a patterned paper mat. Can you see this? We used to have this before, but it's really not in the market. But I'm sure if you look for it, maybe there are still some persons that vendors that have it in stock. It used to come out very strong before. You can see this is very beautiful. So if you are making a hat with it, you can use the patterned one down, and then you can use the plain up, and or you can interchange. So these are samples of hats. The Fascinator I'm wearing here was molded with paper mats. Can you see this? The holes are a little different from the CMA. You know, for the CMA fabric, the holes are very tiny, but when you working with the paper mat, you can see sorry, the CMA, the holes are, you know, you can see the holes are bigger, but the paper mat, the holes are tinier. So when you are working with CMA, you want to mold and you don't want it to come out transparent, you could put your paper mat in between. In fact, you could have your CMA up, your paper mat in between, and then your CMA down. For this, you can see this I have my CMA here and I have my paper mat. So this is a paper mat, so it can be combined and it can be used alone. This is all paper mats. This is all paper mats. This is a molded one. You can see this has just been molded. We've not even removed it from the mold yet. So, and it takes more time drying than the CMA fabric. You know, when you mold with your CMA fabric, it dries it dries very fast. But you know, the paper mat is a very thick fabric. It's very tender. Please, when molding with it, you have to be very careful. It's very tender, unlike your CMA fabric that is very coarse. When you have your paper mat, it could, once you pull it, you can see it. It can be ripped apart. You can see. But you know, before you can rip your CMA fabric apart, this has been molded. It has a stiffener, that's why it's a little hard. But this has not been molded. You can see it's very easy to cut. So when you are molding with it, you have to be very, very careful. It's very tender. You don't pull too much. You pull gently. You pull gently when molding with it. So I wish you the best of luck. In the comment section, I'd like to see samples of fascinators and hats that you have used your paper mat in molding. Thank you for watching. God bless you.